Color correcting using Demi Correctors by Saint Beauty. In my stories a couple days ago, I shared different photos, asked people to identify what certain color properties are on the skin. We kind of played a little game and they answered the questions, and I thought it'd be great to put them in just a video here for others to see as well. What you're about to see are the results from them answering. Is it blue? Is it green? Is it violet? Or is it red? And I go through which color correctors actually work with the color that they identified. Okay, let's go over the 4 slides you guys made choices on, and you did so good. So the first one is this one, and the majority of you said this is a green, and that is definitely more green on me, that muddy, dull. See, this is much darker, and those that are much darker have more depth to it, so they got a little more blue in it. So I just would use an orange, and it probably would take care of it. But these are just kind of dull, muddy, swampy looking. Those are green, and so a little bit of red would work really well, like a red one. So I like to use after a cheek color that has a lot of peach in it, or a vibrant color, and take the cheek color down in here and just cancel out that with a little bit of red one, and then it allows this natural violet pink color that I have in the background show up without this distraction. Also, I wanted to point out, when we do this, when I just do a little bit of cheek color here and don't keep just adding color in other places and then layer it on top of it, then when I just take care of this distraction and let all of this just let be my skin, then there's less on my skin. That means it's going to last all day because there's such little product, and it's not going to crease and it's not going to settle in my lines. So less is more when we're targeting just the distractions. Okay, everybody got this one right. You definitely have blue and red because blue and red make violet. So I'm going to call this one violet. It's definitely going to have some blue in it. It's going to have less red in it because it doesn't look like it's hot to touch. So this is definitely more on the lavender side, but inside, like you have a bump or a zit, you're going to have bruising, you're going to have scar tissue, which is going to be a little thicker, so you're going to get some depth in there. So you're going to need some orange, and you're going to need a yellow orange or just a yellow. I would use a yellow orange on that because I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and maybe just a little bit right in the center where it has a little more depth to it, use an orange. So you guys did really good on those. And I'm not going to target everything that looks like that. I'm just going to take care of those 2, even though there were some more around there. When I take those, they all disappear. I just wanted to clarify what I said last. I'm not going to target every little tiny bump. But when you take care of the ones that are the most bold and the deepest color, then what happens is the others kind of go back into the background and become part of that mosaic that looks like skin, because your skin is just not one color. You have this mosaic of all these colors. So just taking care of the things that distract that mosaic, it's like having this beautiful stained glass with all the different colors, and then right in the middle there's a big splotch that's distracting. So we're just taking care of that distraction so you see the beautiful mosaic in the background, and that's all we're doing. So when you take care of just the dark ones, not all of them, that's the reason why it really doesn't take any more time than anything else trying to conceal a bump with concealer. It does the same thing but better. And good job here too, because it is violet, but there is more blue in it. And the reason why is because they're in a crease. So when you have the different crevices and things like that, or a hollow of your eye, or in this little section here, then you're going to get more shadow, and shadow is always going to be blue. So if we can just attack that little section, I would probably use, again, Y01. I could also use just a little bit, probably the Y01 on the veins, and then I would use a little bit of orange to counteract that blue just in the deepest part of the color. I'm not going to swap product on my nose and then blend it out. I'm just going to target the darkest points. So it's right in here and right in there, and then the rest of it is left with a little bit of color so it looks like skin, and that is the goal, is not to create this one flat color, but to look like skin. All right, very good. I agree. This is mostly blue, but there's also some violet in there. but there is definitely more blue. And to make things easier, I would just attack the blue because it's what's going to give you the most depth in it. And so whatever you use, the orange for the blue, it's going to help take care of some of that violet. But I wanted to point out this beautiful color that she has right here. I would not touch that. I would not touch any of the color following the print of her eye. This gives her eye shape. It's God-given eyeshadow. I would leave it alone. Let's just target right in here where it create. I can't get it to quit doing that. To create this little swoop here that can give that look of being tired. So just attacking that just a little bit with maybe some 01 because she's in the fair range, and you would need added color there with the 03. But we're talking about just a couple of dots of like 01 right in this area. So an orange, a peachy color. But the best thing you can do for your under eyes is pay attention what's down in this bone section. So there's a couple of little spots here that could create a little muddy color. Some of these are freckles and they'd be left alone. They're beautiful, but some of them are kind of swampy looking, kind of dull, kind of spread out. Take a little bit of red right here on that bone and just a couple of dots of those colors. It's going to brighten up this whole eye and allow some of this beautiful violet that she has, that blue violet, left along around the perimeter of her eye. She could even intensify a little bit with like a shadow that's got a little bit of purple in it. It would be very pretty. So this is one of the new edits that are being released. This is a great deal. And this is great for focusing in on under eyes. You can also use these colors anywhere else on the face, but these colors work great for the under eyes. I used some of these this morning. Don't have to use all 6, but it's great to have all 6 in this bundle because you're saving about 30%. But I used 3 of these colors to filter out of my eyes and another one to do any kind of pigment around like age spots around on my cheek and my lips. So let me just show you my before and after. Okay, here's my before from this morning. And right here in the hollow part of my cheek where it's a little recessed in there, that's going to mean a shadow. So blue. So might as well just take care of the blue, and it's really going to take care of a lot of things when I take care of the depth of the color. So I put just a little bit of 03 right in here. Right here in the deep part of my the eye, I tend to have a little more of a blueberry feel to it, so a little more of a lavender color with it. So I used a little bit of Y01, which is in this edit. And then I've targeted anything that's super dark age spots right in here. I used the 03, just a couple of dots on top of them. And then all that muddy brown stuff that's around that bone, I used the red one that's in this edit. So it's such a deal to get this edit. And here it is with the after. So look at the eyes, definitely more awake and less distractions. But you notice I still have color underneath my eyes. So this concept of whiting out everything underneath your eyes and making it one color doesn't look like skin. It's always going to show texture. It's always going to settle in your lines. So this to me is a very great option for under eyes for especially if you're very textured or if you have dark circles or you just like the minimal aspect. This is a great way because it looks just like your skin. Love it. So identifying color on the skin is not that hard. We're only looking for the excessive color and taking care of that excessive color using the opposite color with the Demi Correctors. It is absolutely magic. Let me know if you have any questions and we'll do this again.